Good morning. Good morning, y'all. So today is a good day. Today is Friday. Oh my goodness. Thank God it's Friday. So I want to get into date night, right? When me and husband went on our date night. I want to get into it because I didn't tell y'all how it actually went, and I didn't tell y'all what actually happened. So let's get into it. All right. We get to the Barclays Center. We find parking. That looks great, right? Parking right away. We like, thank you, Lord. Because we left early just so that we would be able to find parking. Now we get there early. The first thing that was wrong was I got an email that said go through the dean entrance. We go to the dean entrance. The guy is like, let me see your ticket. I show him my ticket. He's like, oh no, you gotta go through Flatbush entrance, or an entrance that was like down the block around the corner. And if you've never been to the Barclays Center, the blocks are really, really long. Like the building takes up multiple blocks, like just circling around. So we walk back. I go to the box office and I'm like, excuse me. I got an email that said go to the dean entrance. I get over there. The guy tells me to go back over here. So he looks at my ticket. He's like, well, technically, you could just go through the regular entrance. There's no particular entrance you have to go through. So I'm like, okay. Why did I get an email saying that, right? So we go back to the front. Technically, we were like one of the first people there. Other people started to come. That's cool and dandy. Now we waiting online, and then all of a sudden I see people like run into this other line. So I tell my husband, go over there and see what that line is for, Greg. So he goes and he's like, oh, small purses, like pocketbooks, because they don't allow you to carry big bags into the Barclays. So I'm like, what? So it's a girl behind me and she's like, but we all have small purses. Like, I don't understand. And so a lady came out and she did say something, like a security guard from inside the Barclay. She did say something, but you just kind of see hand gesture. You don't really hear her like, okay, so ladies, if any of you have a small purse, come to this line. There wasn't no like loud announcement. So you're there just left like, what did she say? What's happening? Whatever. So the girl was like, girl, let's just stay on this line. And so I'm like, yeah, let's stay on this line. Because if we get off and we go follow over there, then what happens if we have to come back on this side? Like, so I just was like, let's just stay in place. So we get inside. We go look for, once we get inside, we go look for our seats. And just kind of learn where it is that we have to, go to. We find our seats. The people were very helpful in directing. We find our seats. I'm like, oh, these are really good seats. Like, I don't need to be no further or no closer to the stage. Like, this is like perfect. That was section 2, I believe, 219 or 220, row 2. So if you know, you know, right? So we find our section. So I'm like, okay, now we know where we're sitting. Let's go to, let's go get our food. Now, mind you, before we actually went to the Barclays Center, we looked up like the different restaurants they have in there, the different food spots. So we could kind of know, okay, this is what we're doing when we get there, whatever. So they had 2 Jamaican spots that we saw online. So we're like walking around and we're looking. Mind you, every station there's liquor. They have a bunch of liquor stations. More liquor than they have food, actually. So we're looking. We see Nathan's. We see Fuku, which is a chicken spot. We don't see nothing else past that, right? So I stop a lady. I'm like, excuse me, we're looking for the Jamaican spot. Do you know where it is? So she's like, oh, unfortunately, it's not open. They did close down. I said, do y'all have any burgers? So she was like, no, the burger spot is not open either. We actually ran out of burgers. How did you run out of burgers? You guys just opened up like 20 minutes ago. Like, I'm not understanding. Right? So whatever. So she's like, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but you're more than welcome to go to Nathan's and get a hot dog, nachos, or you can go to Fuku and get tenders, french fries, chicken sandwich, stuff like that. So now my husband got an attitude. I low-key got an attitude too, but I've been telling you, I've been living by the rule of, is it a big deal or is it a small deal? And big deals basically break everything. Like, it's just almost unfixable. So I was like, this is a small deal. So whatever, we'll just get tenders and fries or whatever. So he still somewhat got an attitude because he had his heart set on the Jamaican food, which I could understand, right? So now we get online to get our food. This is where it gets crazy. Now, this is a big deal because this was not fixable at all, right? So now we get on the line, right? The line is going fast too. We get up there. We're like, okay, I want tenders and fries. He wants tenders and fries. And he also wants a chicken sandwich. So the guy's like, okay, that's it. What you guys having to drink? So I think he chose lemonade, and I chose something called Starry, something like that. It's almost like adequate to like a Sprite. So he's like, okay, will that be all? So I'm like, yes, that's it. So he's like, that's gonna be $61.59, right? So you're like, oh, okay. Is that a lot for food? For fast food? Absolutely. That's a lot. But so be it. Like, whatever. You're at the Barclays Center. You're in an arena. What do you think you're going to pay? A little bit of money? Like, this is the chicken spot. Right? So, husband goes to tap his card. Decline. Husband goes to tap his card again. Decline. Right? Now, of course, he has money. So I'm like, husband, let me try. So I tap my card. Decline. I tap my card again. Decline. So now I'm like, I don't want to keep tapping my card because I don't want Capital One to lock my card or whatever, right? So he's like, and then the guy comes closer. He's like, I'm sorry, the card declined. Do you want to try a different card? Like whispering. So I'm like, no, I don't have no other card. Like, I'm like, do you guys have an ATM? The man said, yes, we have an ATM just straight ahead. And so we're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go to the ATM, get the cash, and then we'll just come back, right? So he's like, okay, no problem. I'll put the food to the side. So I'm like, okay. Now we are walking. And we're looking both ways as we're walking, trying to find the ATM. We see a machine and we go up to it and it's like temporary debit cards. Like, I guess you put cash in there and they put the money on a debit card that you could use in the arena in the Barclays. So I'm like, I said, we can't use that. We don't have any cash. So then I see a security lady and I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, we tried to buy food. Our card kept declining. I'm not sure if your system aligns with Discovery or, whatever. She's like, yeah, it takes everything. I'm not understanding why it declined. I said, I have no idea. I said, do you guys have any ATM in here? We was told there's an ATM. So she says, oh, no, there's no ATMs in here. We're cashless. I was like, cashless? So she was like, yeah, we're cash. And if you did have cash, you could use that machine over there and put it on a debit card. And then you could use it in the place. So I'm like, is there any way? So now I'm thinking, is there any way for one of us to be able to go out to use the ATM and then bring the cash in? So she's like, no, once you're in, you're in. So now I'm like, this is a big deal. Like, because we're hungry. Now we're both frustrated, got an attitude, you know. So she's like, hold on, let me get the manager for the food stands. So she tells the manager, and he's like, come with me, you guys. Let me see something. Let me try one of the registers over here. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So as they're walking to the register, my husband's like, Shade, you heard what the guy said? The other guy? So I'm like, no, what he said? He was like, it's declining because they broke ass ain't got no money. Right? Like something like that. I wish I had heard him. Like, why the hell? Now, I know people. I know there are scammers. I know there are people who go places and trying to, you know, rig the system and do all types of things with these cards and stuff. But that's not us, right? And every time somebody's card declined doesn't mean it's because they don't have any money, which is obviously evident because this is what happened with us. So we go to one of the stands, and he's like, okay, what do you, let me see what I could charge you for. So how about water? And I was like, yeah, you can give us 2 bottles of waters. So I tap the card, approve. It goes through with no problem. So he's like, and it wouldn't go through at all over there? And I'm like, no, it wouldn't. So we go back. He's like, come on, I'm going to go with you guys over there, and we're going to see whatever. Maybe we got to use a different machine. So I'm like, okay. So we get on the line. Finally, when we get to the register, she takes our order again, the 2 tenders, the chicken sandwich, the 2 drinks, whatever. 61 something, right? So I go to tap again, decline. I'm like, I put it inside, decline. Because, you know, you could put it in or you could tap it. It just was declining. There was just it just was not connecting whatsoever. I wasn't getting an alert on my phone. The guy was like, can you check your phone to see if you're actually getting an alert that either is saying, like, are you trying to make this purchase? We don't recognize, you know, whatever. I wasn't getting an alert from Capital One. No, nothing. Like, it just was not connecting, period. And I was there, and I just was like, it was very embarrassing. But I really wasn't paying too mind to what if other people were looking at us or whatever the case may be. But I was I can't believe this, because I wanted a drink also. And I was just like, forget that, because I'm not about to go upstairs, have people making me a drink and then decline. Like, it just, so they was like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you a tender, and we're going to give you a chicken sandwich. And you guys can have the drinks. So they gave it to us for free. Greg did not even touch his chicken sandwich. He didn't even want it. He just was upset right then and there. Now we go upstairs, right? We go upstairs. Holding the food. I'm holding the food. And Greg got the drinks. And we're just like, now the mood is like, burn. Because I'm just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe we're in a place. Like, I felt stuck. Like, I can't buy nothing. I can't do nothing. I just have to sit my ass down and enjoy the show, right? And completely sober. Like, no shot, no drink, no nothing, right? Which is fine, right? So we get upstairs. We sit down. Greg is already on fire. He's just not saying nothing. He's quiet. So I already know that he's just not feeling it no more. Probably don't even want to be there. So I'm sitting down, and I'm just like, I'm not understanding. Like, so now I'm just trying to enjoy the music and so on and so on. And now as we're sitting down, I don't know who created the blueprint of the Barclays Center and didn't feel like tall people were going to be sitting down in these seats, or wide people were going to be sitting down in these seats. But there was no consideration, and we were not in anybody's thought process when they was designing these seats. Because sitting down, right, it was so tight. And we were so on top of each other. And even, I had to even put my coat, like my fur, between my legs because there was a guy sitting right in front of me. And I mean, his head was very close to my sunflower. You understand? Like, that's how close seating was. And it was uncomfortable. My knees were hurting because I couldn't move. I couldn't shift. I kept trying to turn my body and then turn this way. And then I had to lean. There was nobody sitting in the seat next to me. So I had to lean over to give my husband space to put his arm over. The seating was horrible. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. So I understand when people decide that they either want to be in the box or they want to be in the VIP, or they want to be somewhere where they're going to have good seating that's going to be comfortable for them, where they can watch whatever they're watching comfortably. Or at a basketball game when you prefer to sit on the floor. Like, I understand now. That right there, I was like, I don't think I want to come back here. I'm not really interested. Like, I was interested in going to the Alkaline concert, which is coming up, I think, in April. He's a Jamaican artist, for those who don't know who Alkaline is. But I was interested in going, but I'm not to have to sit. No. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best seating. But I wasn't sitting down yet. I was standing when I said that. So basically, overall, I don't know if it was only our cars that declined that day in the Barclays Center. I'm not sure if it was other people. But it just, overall, it was a bad experience. And it's not something that I want to endure again. It's not something I want to endure again. I'm not interested in going back. Madison Square Garden, I haven't been there in years, but I was never uncomfortable sitting in the chairs in Madison Square Garden Arena. But yeah, the Barclays, you could miss me because I'm not interested. It just was so uncomfortable. And yeah, so that was my experience going to the Barclays Center for the first time. Do I recommend it? If you're tiny and petite, I recommend it. But if you're tall and you're a thickums and you got bottom and, I think that you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable. I don't recommend it unless you buy floor seating maybe. But even the floor seating, it looked like the chairs were like on top of each other. People were just on top of each other. They could have designed it where you give people some space. The chairs were horrible, 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 horrible. So unfortunately, I do not plan on going back to the Barclays Center. I am not interested. I'm glad that I experienced it. I really do wish that Mike Epps and his crew would have came to Madison Square Garden, because I would have preferred the Garden, because I do live about, I'm going to say 25 blocks from Madison Square Garden. But as far as the Barclay, no, I'm not interested. I'm done. Not going to happen. So yeah, so I just wanted to, let y'all know how it really went, because I didn't talk about it because I was waiting for the right time so I could tell y'all in detail what happened. But yeah, I don't have an issue with no cashless, but I should have been told that in my email. I like to be prepared for things. I don't like to walk into havoc like, what's happening now? They said this. Oh, we can't do this and we can't use that. Like, I don't like to be caught off guard. And so yeah, that was my time. But overall, it was worth seeing the show because they are hilarious. So the money was well spent, that I will say. But as far as everything else, so I give the show itself, I give a 10 out of 10. The show itself. Where the show took place, I give the Barclays Center a 1. A 1 out of 10. I'm not going back. I don't plan on going back. And I have no interest to go back. And yeah. You don't know until you try. But they could miss me with that. So yeah, like this video. Make sure you share this video to somebody who is maybe interested in going to the Barclays Center and they just need, you know, a thick girl review on the Barclays Center. And make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you comment down below what did you think about my experience at the Barclays Center. And if you've ever been there, what was your experience like? And make sure you turn on your post notifications so that when I post, you can pull up and see what I got going on. And I love you guys, and I will see you in the next vlog.